Hey everybody, how you doing? Jeff here, back with another video. This is going to be a guide for Elden Ring and some basics on spirit summoning. And you can do this right away at the start of the game. I've just made a new character. I'm 10 minutes in. I ran to the Church of Ella and then just up the road here to the Gatefront Ruins, Site of Grace. So just started here. When you stop at this one, you're going to speak with Melina, and she's going to give you the ability to summon your spectral steed Torrent. And you need this in order to make another NPC appear. So now that we have that item and we can call our horse, we're going to just fast travel right back to the Church of Ella. And this NPC witch is going to pop up. And now people have said they've had an issue with this witch not popping up. And my buddy did also. And he didn't even know about summonings or how to summon for several hours. But she should be here. There you can see her sitting over there. We're going to talk with her. And if she doesn't pop up, I've heard that you can actually go to the base area called the Round Table Hold, which you'll be invited to later in the game after you've explored a bit, and you'll be able to buy this item. But anyway, you talk with her, and she's going to give you right there the Spirit Calling Bell and your first summon, the Wolves. And now that we have our first summon here, we can put it on. You bring up your menu, and then on the right side, you can see Pouch there, and you can hotkey some stuff. And in order to use that hotkey, you're just going to hold triangle and then push whatever D-pad you've selected there. It's a quick way to use some items. We're going to teleport right back here to the Gatefront Ruins where we just spoke with Melina, and we're going to ride up the hill here. And it's not too far up. There are a lot of archers and what in there, so I just sprint through and kind of dodge. We reach the top of the hill here, and over to the right is another site of grace and a shack, which we're going to go inside here and speak to a key NPC dealing with spirits. So we're going to go in here and talk with this lady, and you're actually going to talk with her 3 times. And on the 3rd time, she's going to give you your next summon, which is a jellyfish summon. Now, so we've got the ability to summon spirits here. We went to the Church of Ella. We talked to the witch. Then we came up to the Stormhill Shack and talked to, her name is Radarica. And we've got a couple spirits already, the jellyfish and the wolves. The next thing to move along with spirits, other than hunting down some other ones, you can check out some of these other mini caves, mini dungeons around, and you'll find a few others. But then to trigger the next part with Radarica is to defeat this legacy dungeon. This is the first serious dungeon right here. Huge dungeon, and that's the requirement to move Radarica's quest line along. Once you do that, you're going to go back to the Round Table Hold, which you will have unlocked by now. That unlocks at a certain point. I'm not sure exactly what triggers it, but at some point, Melina is going to come back at a site of grace and invite you along. When you come back here, Radarica is going to be hanging out by the fireplace here, and she's going to be kind of confused about what her purpose is. She's going to mention the blacksmith, though. So you're going to run over here to the blacksmith, and he's going to have a dialogue option about her. And then you'll run back to her and talk, and you kind of go back and forth between the two. 2 or 3 times, the dialogue options will be exhausted, and then all you have to do to move the quest line along again then is to you can just fast travel right back to the Round Table Hold if you want to, and she will have moved away from the fireplace, and she's going to be over in her permanent place, and she's now going to be a spirit tuner.
Greetings. Are you here for spirit?
And the blacksmith has spoken with her and kind of awakened this power in her. And to do this, you're going to need some flowers that you find in some of those smaller caves and mini dungeons and tombs and whatnot. They're usually by like a sarcophagus or grave called Glovewort, and there's 2 of them, Grave Glovewort and Ghost Glovewort. And Grave Glovewort are for your common summons, like the jellyfish here or the wolves, or I found a few others, Noble Sorcerer, Wandering Noble. And then the other one, the Ghost Glovewort, is for named spirits, which this guy I found was pretty challenging to get to, but I actually can't even summon him yet. He takes 100 FP, so I'm going to have to check him out later. And that is how you power up your summons then. And then what I like to do actually whenever I get a new summon is there's a real good place to check them out. I go back to the gate front actually just at the start of the game. Because normally to summon, you have to be in like a boss area, and not all bosses you can summon on, but most of them you can, it seems. If you look on the left side of my screen there, it's got that like white archway symbol or tombstone with some writing on it, right above where it says torch attack, and that little symbol lets you know that you can summon spirits here. So right here, start of the game, you've got a site of grace right there, and you can summon spirits to check them out. Okay, let's take a look at the summons I found so far, and I'm going to try to avoid spoilers, like not give away too much about the story or where they're found or anything. But if you want, you can add a comment and ask, and I'll try to help you out with that. So anyway, let's see. We start off with the wolves, like we said. Shortly after you get the jellyfish, and then I found these other two, the noble sorcerer and the wandering noble, pretty soon after, just in some caves in this first area. Wandering noble summons 5 melee undead. They're pretty slow, not real great, I think. The sorcerer, kind of the same thing, pretty weak. Their FP cost is really low, and I feel like FP is pretty indicative of the power overall. You know, this costs 11, this costs 28. The jellyfish is okay if you can get it to poison something, but otherwise I'm not too impressed with it. The wolves I really like out of these four for sure, just the one you start with. They move around a lot, they're fast, they'll circle enemies and attack from behind, so if they have a shield, you know, they can usually get through and do some damage still or just distract you really well. And then we move down to the next row. I found Godric Soldiers Ashes next, and these are pretty solid. It's two knights. They've got melee and shields, and one uses a crossbow a lot too, so they can block. They have pretty good survivability and whatnot. It's a pretty solid team. And then these other ones I found quite a ways into the game. Rey Lucaria Soldiers. This is like two grunt soldiers and then one leader with a great sword. And the leader just kind of hangs back, but he like throws potions that's like throwing out kind of some kind of spell or sorcery, and it doesn't seem to do a whole lot. So I'm not really impressed with them so far. Um, Glintstone Sorcerer, definitely an upgrade from this guy, but he casts like a homing uh, missile thing, and it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. And these are all level 1. I haven't leveled anything up yet, so maybe as they get powered up, they'll be a little better. The Ancestral Follower uh, is a melee and a range guy. If he hangs back, he'll shoot a giant bow, or if they get close, he has a pretty decent combo melee attack. And then Banished Knight Oleg, I actually can't even use yet. He costs 100 FP, so I'm really excited to use him because again, I think the amount of FP is going to be indicative of their power, and so I'm going to put all my next levels into Mind to up my FP so I can cast him because I'm hoping he's going to be pretty awesome. So. Anyway, that is going to do it for this one, guys. Hope this was helpful. If it was, I would appreciate a like or a subscribe. And I may make a separate video that shows off kind of all the different summons and what they can do like this. Again, I'm trying to avoid some spoilers so you guys can just experience the game on your own. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.